As an ordinary train attendant, her beauty drew special attention.
Oh, your skin. Paul, look at her skin.
What of it?
Oh, you're blessed to have such skin, girl.
When a wealthy woman praised her, she showed no reaction. At that moment, what she wanted most was not praise, but food. To reunite with her husband Spencer, Alex traveled from England to the American continent, but she was robbed at New York's train station. Now she had no money at all. Even finding food had become a problem. On the train, she could not send a telegram to ask family or friends in England for help. There was also no one who could vouch for her. So when she asked to eat on credit, the waiter immediately refused.
Thought I heard it all.
Sir, I'm begging you. It's been days since I ate.
Alex was once born into British nobility. Now she had fallen to begging in public.
Come with me.
The waiter reported her situation to the conductor. The conductor did not intend to believe her at first, but he saw the injuries all over Alex's body. Some passengers had also seen her jump onto the train, so he decided to give Alex a chance.
If you're willing to work off the meals, we'll keep you fed.
When survival is at stake, dignity means nothing. From then on, Alex had no choice but to work as a train attendant. She stiffly cleaned leftover food from the tables. She served meals while pretending to be experienced. She was ordered around by passengers. She poured tea and delivered water. She did not dare to slack off at all. Her beauty also earned her favor from many passengers. Her tips were higher than those of the other attendants. She carefully counted them and put them away. But her beauty also brought her trouble. One man asked Alex to pour him some water. He deliberately held the cup high in the air. Because of the train's shaking, Alex accidentally spilled the water. She apologized while wiping the table, but the man became unhappy.
What about me? I didn't spill it.
He deliberately forced Alex to wipe him instead. The tea had spilled on a sensitive area. His intention was obvious.
I have a ticket! Sorry, miss, there's no way to stop her now! Are you off your rocker, lady?
At the very last moment before the train departed, the woman risked her life and jumped onto the train. Her torn clothes and ruined appearance drew looks of contempt from the passengers. Covered in wounds, she staggered as she put on her high heels. She stubbornly lifted her head, facing everyone's gaze. She walked through the entire carriage, trying to remain graceful. She had once been a distinguished guest on this train. Now she had fallen to this state. To reunite with her husband Spencer, Alex took a ferry from Britain to the American continent. After great effort, she obtained a travel permit. She planned to take a train to Spencer's hometown, Montana. After entering Manhattan, a kind elderly man gave her directions. She originally planned to walk to the station to save money, but the old man warned her that the area was dangerous. For her safety, Alex decided to take a taxi instead. She followed the old man's advice. Inside the car, she hid all her money in her shoes. At that time, Montana was in the middle of winter. Continuous snowstorms caused some train routes to be suspended. Alex could only pre-purchase tickets for part of the journey. After paying for the ticket, she stuffed the remaining money back into her shoes.
Now put that somewhere different now. Every pickpocket in the terminal just saw your hiding place.
At New York stations back then, criminals were everywhere, especially single women from out of town like Alex. They were the easiest targets.
Don't wait on the platform. You wait up here till you see the porters and other passengers move this way.
Thank you.
As the train was about to depart, the late-night waiting hall was almost empty. Alex forgot the ticket clerk's warning. She went to the restroom alone. A robber had been watching her from behind for a long time. He followed her into the women's restroom. Alex calmly touched up her makeup and rinsed her mouth. The robber had already appeared silently behind her. He took all the valuables she had. Alex tried to resist, but the robber kicked her unconscious. After an unknown amount of time, Alex woke up. Enduring severe pain, she forced herself to stand. She anxiously asked passers-by for the time.
What time is it? What time?
11:02.
7 minutes had already passed since the train's departure time. Alex hurriedly gathered the clothes from the floor. She grabbed only a handbag and ran out in a frenzy. At that moment, the train sounded its departure signal. She kicked off her high heels. She ran desperately toward the platform. By the time Alex reached the platform entrance, the train had already begun to move.
What?
Customs ordered her to open her mouth for a throat check. Then they examined her eyes with a magnifying glass. Finally, they told her to take a deep breath and hold it. The customs officers here were shockingly rough. The woman was pregnant. Alex thought this would allow her to enter and reunite with her husband, Spencer. But this was only the beginning of a nightmare. The second checkpoint was a medical examination. The inspector ordered Alex to undress. She thought he meant removing her coat.
If you would disrobe, please.
Instead, she was expected to be naked in front of a strange man. Alex could not accept this.
It is not a request, Miss Dutton. It is a requirement.
But since she had decided to come to America, she had no choice but to comply. Under the inspector's gaze, Alex endured the humiliation and obeyed.
Turn around, please. Arms out.
The inspector examined her as if inspecting goods from a crate. He even ordered her to lie down for more invasive checks. When Alex questioned him, the inspector coldly said he had no interest in the bodies of such low-class immigrants.
Then back to the ocean you go.
Alex was on the verge of collapse. She was not a low-class immigrant. She was British royalty. Coming to America was not her dream. Reuniting with her husband Spencer was the only thing supporting her. When it was over, the inspector wrote "pregnant" on her body like marking livestock for the next inspector to see. Then another man entered and repeated similar examinations. This was the peak of the European immigration wave. Every day, tens of thousands poured into New York Harbor. Control over entry became a privilege these inspectors used to trample human rights. In their eyes, the immigrants were inferior. Alex waited for the final interview. A girl told her that passing the interview required sexual exchange and that she was already prepared. Alex broke down once again. When it was finally her turn, the interview officer had just finished cleaning up. Whether Alex could stay depended entirely on his mood. The little girl walked barefoot into a bookstore in her pajamas. She wanted to borrow some books, but the clerk noticed her body was covered in bruises. She immediately contacted her husband, who was a police officer. When the girl heard the clerk calling the police, she panicked and ran back home. When her mother saw her return, she immediately yelled at her.
Please! It was my fault.
The next day, a police officer came to the house. The mother hurriedly put clothes on the girl to cover the marks on her body. The officer was the bookstore clerk's husband. He asked about the bruises on the girl. The girl's father said she fell while playing with the dog. The little girl did not dare to speak. The officer knew he would not get answers here. Out of kindness, he gave the girl a few books. But those books led to a later tragedy. The girl's father had once been gentle and kind. After one trip to the town, everything changed. He often hid in a small shed behind the house, staying there all night. From that time on, he began beating both mother and daughter. The girl thought her father was sick, so she asked her mother about it.
Are we still gonna run away?
She always wanted to go to town to read books. She believed books held a way to cure her father, but every time her father refused. Among the books the officer gave her, there was one about a phoenix reborn from fire. She loved it deeply. She believed her father was like a phoenix. If he could be reborn through fire, his illness would be cured. So she poured a bucket of gasoline over her sleeping father. Then she set him on fire, but she saw that her father did not react at all. At that moment, she heard her mother's voice. It turned out everything just now was only the girl's hallucination. Just because his daughter didn't pose properly for a photo, the father shoved her into the lake. The girl couldn't swim and desperately cried for help, but her father walked away. Luckily, her mother, who was 5 months pregnant, grabbed her. She pulled her back to the shore. The two held each other tightly. Only then did Alice realize that her father truly wanted to hurt her, but she had no idea why. From that moment on, Alice was terrified of her father, yet he always found excuses to beat both her and her mother. One day, the father took the mother to a prenatal checkup. Alice secretly slipped into her father's work cabin. She accidentally knocked over a kerosene lamp. A fire quickly broke out. Just then, her father came home. Terrified, she hid under the bed and wrapped herself tightly in a blanket. Her ears were filled with her father's angry shouts and her mother's pleas for mercy. The police received the report. They rushed to the scene, but it was already too late. Both her father and mother died in the fire. Only Alice was left, unconscious. At that moment, an elderly woman claiming to be Alice's grandmother suddenly appeared. Standing by the hospital bed, she looked at her unconscious granddaughter. She placed a protective charm into Alice's hand.
Butterfly bush means second chances.